We might need to move that.
Yeah, we can move that a little bit.
Lots of small prices. Yeah, I'm getting in the shade.
Good idea. Because we're actually in the sun here. We've made it far enough out of town.
Well, the bus didn't drive up that road?
No.
1 mile.
Actually, the sun shines out here most of the time. You know,
I don't want to be walking back to town. Because it won't be
Stand right here.
They don't know. I walked out here, I had to come and see somebody.
Kirk, did you convene your meeting yet?
No, let's convene.
Let's convene.
Dr. Bob, don't we let your chair do that?
The chair will convene the meeting.
I don't have my notes.
So you have a quorum?
So today is Wednesday the 17th? 18th at 4 p.m. Park and Rec, we have a quorum. We have 4 out of the 5. We have a
5 out
quorum.
of 5.
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
Is Rick not here?
And Park and Works,
Then
Public
I'm
Works,
the
do we have a quorum?
Yes, we have.
We have a quorum, so I hereby call this meeting to order.
Okay, for PWeb, we have a quorum here of, I think, 5, I counted. Yeah, and call this meeting to order. I don't do this usually, I'm vice chair.
Welcome everybody. This is our annual tour of city facilities and parks. I guess they're all city facilities really. But today, for the most part, the emphasis is on park facilities. We did the tour of the potholes last year. So we're going to take a look at quite a few of our parks today. But we're starting with the council selected preferred site for our new water reclamation facility at South Bay Boulevard and Teresa Drive. We're going to take a little walk up to the gate, and so we can actually see where the work will be. So if you want to follow me, and we're not going to walk that far. Yes, the road will be paved access road. Probably will be meeting our fire requirements of a 20-foot wide road.
Okay, you getting the talking heads?
Always, yes.
Let's roll.
No, I was talking heads in the van too. Remember, I was on the inside.
Hey, Rob, there's a pipeline down in there right now.
Yeah, that is the Whale Rock pipeline. So we got some Russian star thistle here, so be careful. Watch out for the star thistle. I think this side is a little safer to walk up. If you want to walk closer, you walk up on this side, you'll walk through this thistle. That's the Whale Rock pipeline. So this goes between Whale Rock Reservoir and San Luis Obispo Water Treatment Plant on Stenner Canyon. And it's City of San Luis Obispo, Cal Poly, and Prison Water Supply, the Whale Rock Commission. So this is actually the city limits line right here.
Oh, is it?
County on the other side, city on this side. This is owned by the Tri-W Company, and the site is known as our South Bay Boulevard site. This is the council selected preferred option for the water reclamation facility. So when this is constructed, it'll have a 20-foot road that comes up to here. Probably some sort of closable gate near this location or further up. And the the facility starts, you can see this little ridge line that comes down here close with that rock outcropping on it. It'll be just on the other side of that is where the facility will actually be located.
Beyond the rock out.
Yeah, it's a little beyond the rock outcropping there. Trying to keep it more in the flatter area to avoid a lot of rock excavation work, because you dig down a few feet here and you hit the Franciscan Formation, some pretty good rock. It will be a 1 million gallon advanced wastewater treatment plant that will ultimately provide a additional water supply for the city of Morro Bay. So we'll have, where we drove down Quintana Road, we'll likely have multiple pipelines in that road, so we can look forward to having a nice new Quintana Road when we get done with this project. It'll turn, either cross under the freeway here at the undercrossing, or there's another option of crossing further upstream, depends where Caltrans. Sometimes they don't like you crossing under their structures. So the pipelines will come out of a force main, which has a pump station down at the existing plant, and probably an intermediate pump station somewhere in Quintana. Provide the raw wastewater to the plant. It'll be treated by a membrane bioreactor, and then advanced treatment, which will consist of reverse osmosis, adding a oxidant to it, advanced oxidation, probably chlorine, and then UV disinfection before it goes out to our injection fields in the Morro groundwater basin. We are, as everybody knows, we are on the finaling of the EIR for the project. We have a design build proposal that we will be negotiating contract once the EIR is certified, and once we have rates in place that we can pay for the project. So that Prop 218 is out to the community right now. Have 45 days since the mailing on Friday to, if you desire to submit a protest ballot. That's the only vote. There's no yes, no. It's a protest process under Proposition 218, and those can be delivered up to the end of the public comment section of the public hearing, which will be on the second meeting in August at the City Council meeting. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that folks might have.
Is the EIR supposed to go to the first meeting?
The EIR will go to the first meeting in August.
When the water is cold and it's dispersed out, what's the pH level?
The pH will be neutral, because what we'll need to do is remineralize it.
What is considered neutral by the city of Morro?
7-ish. Yeah. Yeah. After it leaves the RO process, it'll be pretty aggressive water, so you have to remineralize it. Yeah, calcium carbonate is typically what you add back into it. So we'll make it too pure first, and then we'll have to add calcium to it.
So, Rob, where exactly is the Morro Basin?
The Morro Basin is over the hill.
By the bike park in that area?
Lila Kaiser Park
Okay.
is the bottom, near the bottom of the basin. We have a couple of wells. We'll go past those wells and I'll point them out as we go by. That would be the bottom of the basin. We'll probably have injection wells either somewhere near Lila Kaiser Park along the bike path there, or perhaps behind Miners. So that basin parallels Highway 41 to the top of the hill.
Follows the creek, Morro Creek.
Morro Creek.
Now, I had a question. If we were going to have to do a reservoir for storing some potable water, where would it be in this area here?
It would be a day tank. Basically, we're not storing a whole lot of reclaimed water, so it'll be just so we can run the pump, set the pumps to pump, and not have to have them cycle on and off.
Okay, and then there was some talk about putting a reservoir somewhere in order to take advantage of Toro Creek. Is that still a possibility?
No, there's no surface reservoirs proposed with this project.
Okay.
Equalization basin, is there still, there's a small one.
Still working on that.
I know that they came out with that safe system
Yeah.
to cut out the
equalization basin. So you know what you want to have is on your treatment side, your MBR side, basic to be able to run constant flows through that, so you're not cycling membrane units on and off, so that you can maintain sort of a constant flow.
So
Things works best when
Okay,
you don't
what-
have to change.
What's a membrane bioreactor?
So it's a activated sludge process, and then there's membrane filters that are in the end of the secondary process. It's a flow through process.
What's a filter made of?
Plastic
fiber,
filter, fiber filter.
It's like a RO
Or-
units membrane. Basically, the water will go up to it, and then
Ceramic
water
is
goes-
they have some ceramic filters on the market
Yeah,
too.
most of them are more of a fibrous material. So the best way to describe it is if anybody's ever gone camping and used the hand pumps that you actually put right into a stream and pump and pressurize and purify the water, it's the same type of membrane. The membrane's in there. We're just putting a negative pressure inside. We're actually just pulling that liquid through the membrane. So it's essentially a conventional activated sludge process, and we just put the filters right at the end of that activated sludge process.
This is Joe Miller. He's our utilities operations manager.
What's the area? Is it miles square out there?
So the entire parcel that is owned by Tri-W, this parcel right here is 396 acres. We're purchasing 27.3 acres of it, and the plant will take up something less than 10 acres. It depends on what the final configuration of the site looks like.
So we've got extra space for solar panels.
We do have extra space for solar panels, maybe on the hillsides that don't face too many people.
Should put some wind turbines over the hill too.
Any other questions that folks might have? Okay, on to Del Mar Park.
Okay. Oh, clear across town.
And then we're going to work our way south.
Oh, there we go.
I'm not sure if it's a desirable location, right? Overlooking the freeway, you got the noise.
Scott told me a while ago somebody pulled a permit. Yeah.
They got a coastal development permit. They haven't pulled any building permits.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would be rough.
Sure.
So we'll
So we're here at Del Mar Park. I know one of the things we want to, as we walk across the park to the Island Street side, we're going to go past our new renovated restroom facility and turn it over to Kirk, see if he wants to highlight anything at the park that's going on.
Yeah. You want to do that now?
Sure, sure.
Well, I think while we're here, I would be remiss if I didn't recognize our pickleball courts here. We were enthusiasts here and on the Rec and Parks Commission. So we take a look at the pickleball courts while we walk back through.
Okay.
But this is, I know, a very highly used park. So I'm glad we put this one on our stop.
Yeah, so let's walk past the...
Would you say that was renovated or a total rebuild? Because it went down to nothing.
It was started as a renovation and
Kept going.
kept going. Cascadero.
Come on now, this is professional.
Professional. Yeah. I mean, it was, and I was coming down the hill from Chicago or Eureka Grade. So I was going probably 25 miles an hour before I.
Oh boy.
Here it comes.
It's not going to be in there.
You told me the question. Awesome. So we could speak to this if we need to? Or?
Yes. Good.
This is what, Rob, about a year and a half? 2 years old now?
Maybe years in June.
2 years in June. Yeah. And it's very popular right now. Our Morro Bay Senior Citizens Incorporated operate the courts here from 9 to 12, Monday through Saturday. And there are anywhere from 30 to 50 people out here.
We've been getting in. We almost touched 70 the other day.
Wow. Every day.
Wow. Yeah.
Very
Sundays,
popular.
9 a.m. to 12
Yes, sir.
p.m.
Yes. And it's easy to play.
The 3 hours.
Come out, give it a try.
And during that time, they.
So this used to be a pretty much unused roller hockey court. So back in the day, you know, we built with community support, built a roller hockey when that was a big thing in Morro Bay, and we temporarily put pickleball on the basketball court, and there was, you know, demand, and there was funding from the Senior Citizens Incorporated, and this is what we developed here, and we could probably use a few more of them.
Well, the city participated in the funding also.
Yeah.
Now, I never see anybody in the tennis court over there. Why not make that pickleball?
You know,
There's some discussion.
Yeah, I would tell you that I know Stephanie, she instructs out there. And the other day, I'm starting to see a little bit more play on tennis, so I think we should wait, myself personally, before we attack that.
Of course, it has to do with the number of people using it.
Using it, yeah.
So, you know,
It's a little different surface over there.
Yeah, well, that's a grass surface.
Grass, or
Artificial.
supposedly he plays like, from the tennis players I talked to, kind of plays like a clay court with the sand.
Yeah. But, no, actually, this, I would tell you right now that USAPA, right now in the United States, there's about 3.8 million people, and that's doubled in the last year, and they anticipate the end of this year it'll be between 6 and 8 million.
what is those initials for?
United States Pickleball Association.
How about that?
Yeah.
It's a national association?
It's a national association, yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah. And getting bigger and bigger.
I hear from folks all over the county, this is the place to come to play pickleball.
Well, you know, we're pretty lucky here on the Central Coast, because where do you get to play anywhere, okay, with this kind of weather?
Yeah.
And it's virtually year round, and not that we get a lot of rain, but you know, and they'll even be crazy enough to come out and play in the rain. But, you know, it is what it is.
Do you see tournaments out here?
We've had fun tournaments. Yeah.
Paid tournaments where they come here
Yeah,
and
they
stay in
paid.
the
We
city?
just had one. There was 48 people played, and a lot of fun. It was. They do rankings, levels. So this one was 2-5 and 3-0s. That was one group, and 3-5 to 4-0s was another group. That keeps going on, and to 5-0s and now 5-0 pros. So it gets. This is really crazy.
70 to 80.
But I would tell you that only about 5-6% of everybody that's playing pickleball actually go to sanctioned tournaments. USAPA actually has a sanctioned tournament. Now what we can do here, because we're 4 courts, we can actually run a sanctioned tournament, but it's level 4. They have 4 levels. The level 4 is the lowest because of the size of the facility. If you want to be level 1, you have to have 12 courts. So I'll give you, for instance, next weekend in Concord, there's a 3-day tournament. It was $80 to enter the tournament. They have 521 players. Their gross income is $41,625.
Listen, you got all the numbers.
He's got the numbers. He's our biggest advocate of pickleball here in town. One of them. So this is pickleball in Morro Bay.
Into the town and
When you think about that.
Past the dog park and then on to
Do you want to make it down in the parking lot?
Yeah, yeah. So we'll go past the dog park and then make our way.
Converted all to pickleball.
I don't know about the surface because the
different.
surface is.
Well, that's that artificial grass.
But it's sand underneath it. It's
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. So supposedly, according to the tennis players, it plays like a clay court.
Oh, okay. Either way, they probably don't bounce as well.
That's what it seemed. It would seem like that the bounce and the rebound from the bounce would be more unpredictable, than on a salt. It would bounce here on a salt. Somebody saw it hit and it bounced on something soft and hits, and where does it bounce to?
Yeah.
Tastes like hand sanitizer.
You're gonna have to ask one of the experts here.
That's why the same people that when the British opened.
Well, I was confused. I thought the pathway continued. Yeah. We could just turn around and walk.
Just follow the
make our way.
fence around?
There is no path around.
I know, just follow the fence,
Yeah.
so that way when it's over the hill.
Rob, what do you think the chances of getting some bark put on the ground in here and expanding this out? So you've got it like it is over at the across the street from the college.
They're not.
Well, bark is a love-hate. Some dog owners don't like the bark on the dog park area.
I don't know if
Prefer
you
grass.
go over to the courts that are across the street from the college.
In El Chorro Park.
They're all bark.
Yeah, they're bark inside.
bark.
You mean on the dog park area?
Yes.
Yeah. And this is a quagmire in the wintertime when it's raining.
Well, we did some drainage improvements here this year, so
did you?
yeah. Okay, I guess we're gonna follow the fence around and. Could you give us the, well, let's wait till.
I think you lost.
Yeah.
Alright guys, come listen about the bathroom. Pit stop.
Yeah, we waited for this for a long time. Now we have it. It's beautiful.
Now you can finally go, huh?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Instead of in the
Mike?
creek.
So initially we were just going to replace the fountain.
Just fountain.
We started with Rock Harbor as a volunteer group. They wanted to come in and do a project for the city. They suggested painting a couple different structures and or washing benches around town. We looked at this with one of their contractors, one of their professionals. He agreed with us that paint was not going to be the correct measure for repairing it, so we did allow them over course of one weekend to remove all the siding so we could see just what we were up against. And following Monday, we all came to work and realized there was just way too much dry rot and termite damage to move forward with a Band-Aid or new siding. So we immediately went into the mode of renovation, whereby we contacted an architect, realized that the value of renovating far exceeded the threshold and at the point where you have to incorporate some ADA component, and this facility never had an ADA accessible stall. So we moved forward with them to develop plans for that stall, for that addition. But that brought us into about mid to late January of this year, and that during that interim time we approached council with the request for funding for an ADA renovation on this site, and that got approved with a 5-0 vote. So plans are here, staff is back from vacations, we started tearing it down. We came into a point in the rainy season where things got slow for us with this project, but I think the overall project timeline was about 3.5 months. Staff did all of the work on this themselves. We were able to incorporate skill sets from all of my employees at some point during the project. We did all the lath. We did not put the plaster on. We hired out for that job, for that one piece of it. We did eliminate one of the original restroom stalls here on the end. We were able to enlarge the plumbing chase so that we now have a golf cart, which we already owned, on site. It's a rather large park. It really helps the maintenance guys when they come out here to pick up trash and work on the park, that they have a vehicle to move around. We really don't want heavy traffic. Definitely not on the turf, but we try to keep it off on this pathway too. Very busy park, a lot of foot traffic, a lot of bicycle traffic, so we don't really want vehicles in the park. We ended up with two very nice regular sized stalls, which were here before, and then one very large, it's about 8 by 8.5 foot accessible stall. We added a baby changing table in there. We did repair the fountain, which had been down for several months, and the floors are all fully epoxied and sloped to the drains, and the walls are all put in with FRP as well as the ceilings. So when maintenance comes in to do a cleanup, we can literally hose the place down without doing any damage to the structure itself. It's all completely sealed tight. The stalls are fully insulated. We've got ventilation fans and motion sensitive lights that only activate when there's an occupant, and everything's LED. So we made some really nice improvements to what was here before. It was a long haul. It was a lot of difficulty working with existing foundations that weren't entirely straight and or square, level and or square rather. And I just say kudos to my guys for working through it and figuring it out. They did a great job with the construction of this thing. And welcome to open up and look inside one of these stalls. This one's very nice.
Is the golf cart still gas, or did you change it to electric?
It's still gas. We'll work towards trying to find a hand-me-down maybe from a golf course somewhere. They're not hard to renovate, but a lot of times golf courses just trade them in and buy all new.
Yeah, well, that one seemed like it was a little cranky.
It is. But we already owned it, and we're putting it to good use now.
Well, the price is right,
Yeah.
Well, I know one thing, people are so happy about having this now. I mean, they got a great facility and
But we lock ours.
Oh, you do lock? Yeah. That's what I was wondering. That one sounded like it's an apartment.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job on it, really.
I'll use cardboard. Well, the trolley's probably waiting for us over on the...
That's part of the
strong feeling about it. Okay, I don't.
I could check.
We're going to own that.
Yeah.
We're going to own that in 2025.
Yeah.
The city will own that in 2025.
How?
Are we going down to?
But they just bought it.
Oh, we're just going to walk that.
They had 20 years. Not even close. They had 20 years to do that.
Yeah.
But they just.
I don't know.
Well, I heard when
There's
we'll talk about the
proposed Jack LaLanne.
They had 20 years to do something with it.
And before we do that, I have a trivia. How many people know what
So there was a thing in the
Oh, well, let me guess. I don't know. It's a bunker. It's a World War II Japanese anti-shipping bunker.
Well, I don't know.
They sunk the Montecito, so we built this and had a gun on it.
Oh, it's not a valve pit of some type?
This is one of our 5 saltwater wells
Oh,
for our, when we built the desal plant back in '92. So there's 5 wells along the Embarcadero here that we can pump salt water out of, and there's a pipeline that goes up Embarcadero here to our desal plant on Atascadero Road.
So are they submersible?
Yeah,
pumps?
submersible pumps in here.
Is that enough water to supply the city of all 5 wells?
No, because we don't have a permit. We don't have enough of a permit to discharge that much water. With them all, they can't all run at the same time.
If you had the permits, would it be enough?
No. And then the outfall for the desal, I think we visited it last year. It discharges into the channel next to the rock.
It's the outfall from the plant.
Yeah.
Where does the sewage go when it overflows?
What sewage?
Out of the plant when we have a rainstorm and we have
Out of the sewer.
We don't let the sewage overflow out of the plant. We've never had a sewage spill that caused that when we're expecting big rainfall, we empty all the tanks ahead of time. We make sure that we have enough storage. We plan ahead. A couple of years ago when we were expecting a huge rainstorm, we rented some rain for rent tanks to have there just to make sure that we had enough storage available to deal with these extra flows. So the secret is planning. We can also, in an emergency, shut down lift station pumps so the flow doesn't come to the plant. We use the collection system for storage.
So that's fine time if you happen to spill any.
Yes, you would be fined if you spill. And there are minimum mandatory penalties. There's no discretion that the regional board has on fines due to spills.
When I was in Folsom, it cost us $750,000 because we overflowed at the bridge during a huge rainstorm.
Yeah. Well, I think South County Sanitation District started out with several $1 million in fines, and we're able to negotiate that down to something a little bit less.
So we've got that same exposure here, don't we?
What's that?
We've got that same kind of exposure here.
Yes.
We had a huge rainstorm that kept going for a few days, and it overflowed.
We would, if it overflowed, we could be fined.
Another reason to get the plant out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is Coleman Park. It's, I think it might be the first park in Morro Bay, or one of the closest to first park. Maybe the first bathroom structure over there. It has, looks like it's a pretty vintage structure over there.
Yeah, it's about 1955.
Yeah.
Is it? That's what they would do in 1955.
And this is the site of the Harbor Walk, which is relatively new.
Right. It was constructed in 2007, 2008. This is the first phase of it. Goes out to the rock. And then the second phase, you can see here, that goes along Embarcadero, out to the new pedestrian bridge. It crosses Morro Creek, and then connects with the other side of Embarcadero. So very popular access way to North Morro Bay if you don't want to drive.
And then this is also this section of the Harbor Walk is also the site of discussion for the proposed Jack LaLanne Harbor Walk workout station concept, and that's come in front of the Recreation and Parks Commission for general discussion. And then now we're working through some of the concept, I guess, to really develop the locations of where we would like to place these workout stations. And I know Mike with Public Works had brought a company out to take a look to give us a proposal on cost and location that would meet ADA, or to comply with ADA. So we're in conversation still with Mrs. LaLanne, and then folks from Morro Bloom, was it? Bob?
Morro Bay Bloom,
beautiful. Thank you. Yes.
So, Kurt, where are they talking about putting it? On the Harbor Walk or over here by Coleman Park?
Well, the initial concept that was proposed by Mrs. LaLanne was to start back over where the water intake area was in that parking lot. There was a memorial tree planted on behalf of Jack LaLanne when he passed, along with a little plaque, and they wanted to start a workout station in that parking lot. But after further conversation, we really realized that that's not a good location. In the middle of a parking lot, it did not meet with ADA, the access, and it just logically it really didn't work. It didn't make sense. So we started to look at some other locations up along the Harbor Walk here, and their concept and what they had pitched was just like a bench, kind of like what Jack LaLanne would do. He used a chair for his workouts, or something very simple to where folks could stop and maybe do a couple of deep knee bends or whatever, and then move along, continue up the Harbor Walk to another location that might have, a little pull-up bar or something where you can kind of do push-ups against it or whatnot. So that was the initial concept. I know Mike had a company come out to take a look to see what made sense as far as ADA compliance, and put together some kind of a cost estimates for us. And I think the result of that was in one specific location where we could have a number of workout items, or I can't think of the term, but maybe Mike, maybe you might be able to tell us
Stations.
where that, Yeah, little stations, but all in one area. And where, I don't know where that location was, Mike.
It was right here where the benches are, just as you enter, in between us and the restrooms.
Okay.
The proposal would be to move the benches around and create some space there, but it's already fairly level.
Okay.
And or the far side of the basketball courts is another good location
I see.
where you could fit multiple elements into the same area. And like you said, they're stationary. They're pull-ups or sit-ups or push-ups.
Would he get signage for it?
We would have to have some signage for it, actually. There's, along with what we just said about the ADA, accessibility requirements, there are certain distances you have to have around the equipment. You have to have certain signage on the equipment that tells the operator or the user what this is intended for. Caution surfaces may be hot. There's all kinds of things you have to put on exercise and play equipment these days.
So this is a work in progress still, and it's under discussion this time.
They actually have units to where wheelchair people in wheelchairs can actually back into the operation of being able to work. They're doing it up in Sparks, Nevada. As a matter of fact, I found out because my daughter showed it to me. She teaches yoga, and so she told me all about that. So it's pretty interesting.
So it's been heard by the Recreation and Parks Commission and has not gone to City Council yet. There's still further discussion to take place with Mrs. Lelaine and Morro Bay Beautiful before we can move forward to take it to City Council.
Okay, we're going to walk down here to the parking lot, get back on the trolley, and then head to Franklin Riley Park.
Oh, yeah, you can lose it there.
Yeah, it's got to be in Butte, I would think. Yeah, right? Hey, Mike, where's the butterfly area that we just cleaned up?
It's from the 9th tree down, so count 9 trees this way, and then that's the butterfly habitat beyond.
Okay.
So this is, now it's 8 trees. We lost 1 tree.
Okay.
So this is the location now of the most recent addition, I guess, to the park system here in Morro Bay. Recently approved by City Council for the Morro Bay Historical Society to move forward with naming the park after one of the founding fathers of Morro Bay, Franklin Riley. And the intent is to leave it as a passive park with some interpretive panels along with a panel that names the park. So it's basically this stretch up here. I believe the property does go over the hill too. Would you confirm that? Yeah. But again, it's a passive in nature up here. There might be some basic improvements as far as maybe the paths or benches, and that's under discussion. But the Historical Society was approved to do just the interpretive panels at this time, as well as the plaque to name the park.
And this area was developed with this housing development that went in early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, I believe, Morro Cove. They did the basic development of this area as a condition of their subdivision. I don't think they planted the trees though.
No, there used to be a big monarch butterfly.
Riley was supposed to plant these. That's what they said, Franklin Riley.
Yeah.
The monarch butterfly group?
And then the one tree, wasn't there the one tree down there supposed to be something?
That's one of our legacy
One of
trees.
these is one of the legacy trees.
That tree probably there.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it was one big tree.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah. Blue gum.
Is that, are they blue gum? Is that what we said?
The wind is howling. Just hear it creak and crack.
Kind of scares you.
You can feel the ground move.
Eucalyptus are going to break and prune themselves.
Yeah.
Is it blue
What
gum?
about
Is
the
that
street
what we
trees
said?
like on Morro Bay
That's what I've
Boulevard?
heard.
These are right, so they're not native.
It's amazing.
Horrible. You know what they do about it. We've had arborists out here looking at it many a time, and nothing ever gets done.
I think if they died, that would be.
Since they died, there should be a hydro bar, and then they found out.
Put a tree down.
Because they imported them here
Yeah,
as
I think we probably put them on the
lumber.
tree there. Yeah, that was the idea, was to harvest trees.
You got everybody, all the board members out here?
Yeah, just show my face and then disappear.
September 20th.
We ready?
We're ready? Yeah. Okay, it's what, 6 o'clock? 10 to 6. Park and Rec is officially adjourned. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Nay? None? Carries. Opposed?
Make a motion for PWAB to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
it. There we go. All in favor?
Aye.
There we go. Meeting is adjourned.
See you guys.
Very good.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Next meeting, 9.